Thank you so much for those who have been watching my videos, and please help me to follow me, like, share the videos to whoever you think might be interested, and thank you for staying all this while. So today I want to explain what the aptitude test is all about. So I made mention that when you, after applying and you get your decision later, most of the time what you'll be getting is that there are shortfalls in your qualification and you need to compensate for that. So they have two compensation measures. So it can either be the aptitude test or the adaptation pathway. So in this video, I want to explain the aptitude test. So when you get your decision later, you have to now start applying for a job. So you look for agencies, hospitals that are recruiting from overseas and apply for a job. Now, for you to get either the aptitude test or your adaptation is completely dependent on your employer. It is not in your choice to make. It's true that you can make a choice that you want the adaptation. That means you are going to only be applying to hospitals who are offering adaptation, which most of the times are like big private hospitals, big public hospitals. Those are the ones offering adaptation. But in any case you're applying to a nursing home, there is a 99% surety that, or assurance that you're going to be doing the aptitude test. So if you, let's say you have applied and you've gotten the job and your employer offers you aptitude test option. What is aptitude test about? Now, for you to prepare for these exams, you have the aptitude test exam is controlled by the RCSI. So sometimes people call it RCSI exams, Royal College of Surgeons, Ireland. They are the ones controlling the aptitude test. The aptitude test is made up of two parts. Part one, which is the CBT, and part two, which is the OSCE. So the both parts are written in Ireland, unlike the UK that you have to do the CBT in your home country and then migrate to complete the OSCE in UK. In Ireland here, both parts are done here. So your employer will prepare you for the document and all these things, and then you arrive in the country and book the exams ahead before you even get your visa and everything, and then arrive in the country. So now when you've arrived and you go to the exam, the CBT has 300 questions to be answered has 150 questions to be answered in 3 hours. So it's just like the normal questions, CBT questions, nursing, everything. It's also patient was doing scenario questions, medication calculations, and stuff like that. So you write that, and you have 2 attempts for that. So if you write the first one and maybe unfortunately you couldn't meet up, which I've not seen anyone yet that failed the CBT, and then you have one more option to write it. So when you write and then you pass, you move over to the OSCE. So for the OSCE, it has 14 stations. There are different stations. So I think for nursing students who are recently graduating, they will understand what the OSCE is all about. It's like a scenario kind of question, kind of exam, where just the same thing that we used to do back in nursing school then. Even though I've not written it, from people that have written and shared their experience, I think that's what it feels like. So there is a mannequin who is like your patient, then your examiner will be answering questions for the mannequin, and then you're giving you, okay, this is the station. So they have like a medication, IV priming, wound dressing, admission station, urinalysis, and stuff like that. You get up to 14 stations. So when you finish this and then you have passed, and you now apply for your registration. If unfortunately you couldn't make all the 14 stations and then you are referred in any of the stations, so you have the opportunity to attempt this again. But after two attempts and you couldn't make it on either the OSCE or the CBT, that ends the news for you. If you still want to practice in Ireland, then you need to start all over again by applying for recognition, stuff like that, getting decision letter, applying for job, and then applying for the whole exams and whole things again. So hopefully when you do this, you make it at first attempt. My name is Ndui. So please, if this is your first time or you're liking my video so far, help me to follow, click the share button and share it to your friends that you feel might be interested in videos like this. So adaptation is a period of time where you are working under the direct supervision of a registered nurse for a period of 6 to 12 weeks, minimum of 6 weeks and maximum of 12 weeks. So under this period, during this period, you have some e-learnings to do, you have physical trainings to attend, you have your learning logs to fill about what you've done each day, what you're able to do, what you need assistance with, and stuff like that. You have 3 meetings: the initial meeting, the intermediate meeting, and the final meeting. So the initial meeting is just you, your manager, and your clinical supervisor coming together to set objectives on what you're supposed to learn throughout your period. And then the intermediate meeting is just like reviewing what they asked you to do, if you are able to cope and do all of them, and if there is any room for change, any room for improvement, they will let you know. Then the final meeting is when they are going to decide if you are going to be a registered nurse or not. So that's like a brief overview of what the adaptation is. Then at the end of the day, if fortunately you are seen as being eligible, then they will fill the form, sign, you sign, your manager sign, and then they send it across to NMBI, and you'll be expecting a congratulatory message from them. If the opposite is the case, then so be it. You have to start all over again if you truly still want to continue, because unfortunately here in Ireland, unlike the UK, if you are not able to make your exam, then you can't, like, to start looking for a job as a registered healthcare assistant. It's really a very long process, unlike the UK, that if maybe you already started working as a healthcare assistant. So whether you pass an exam or not, you can still continue working as a healthcare assistant till you try again. But here is somewhat different. So you just have to put in your best and make sure that your first shot you got it.